Hello again, everyone. Let's continue with English 2. Today we're going to be looking at Unit 10. This is your first of 2 lectures. As per usual, we will spend the first lecture talking about language. And today we're going to look at tag questions. Okay? Turning statements into questions, or making sure we understand what is going on, what is being said. Okay. Let's begin, as we usually do, at the starter activity on page 76. This is a vocabulary exercise. We're not really looking at language. As per usual, you can go through the different vocabulary words with the word card. That would be giving away the answer, seeing as we are doing an activity today that matches words and pictures. What you can do is you can read each of these phrases at the bottom, okay, and match them with the appropriate picture. Okay, now the first one is done for you. Okay, so the first one is video conference, and it is, you can see in the picture, there are a number of people communicating with another group of people that appears on a video screen. Okay, and so they're talking together in a conference. So they're using video to confer with each other. Okay. Now I'm going to pause the activity. You can do the matching activity, and then we will review our answers. If you want to use the word cards when you're finished, you can use those to check your own answers, but I will review in just a moment. All right, now as per usual, we will use the practice activity from the ebook to check our answers. All right. Now, again, if you don't have the textbook, you can take the textbook and go to the front page and register for your ebook. Okay. Now, 6 pictures and 6 phrases. I think the first one was done for you. Right, we know that. It's a video conference. People conferring, talking in a group to another group via video, or using a video. All right, what else we can find out about this? This one looks easy right here. This picture, a catering service. That might not be so easy. It looks like a lot of food, and that's a word we use for providing food for a large ceremony or a group of people, or for an event. We call it catering. Okay, so you call the service and they provide all the food. That way you don't have to cook. Okay? Very convenient for large groups of people. Okay, this one here, fairly common. It is, as we can see here, is a woman standing behind a desk, and I'm not sure what she is doing. She doesn't seem to be doing much except waiting. Okay, that's what we call the information desk. She's waiting for someone to ask for information. So if you need information, look for something like this and you can find that. Okay, in this picture we see a large group of people. This man is standing at the front of the room. It looks like a large lecture, okay? and that man is almost certainly, if he's lecturing, he's speaking. So he's he is a speaker, looking at the picture, and apparently he is a keynote speaker. Okay, so that means he is a special speaker who has been invited to speak to a large group of people. So often at a conference, you might have a keynote speaker, and all the other events they would stop and they would invite large groups of people to listen to this speaker. Okay, keynote, he's key. Okay. I think probably this one might be the next easiest. A VIP guest. Okay, so I don't know if she's a guest, but certainly she looks very VIP. She's got her own driver, her own plane, and the staff from the plane are greeting her at the airport. Okay, so she's VIP. VIP stands for very important person. VIP, very important person. Okay. Many people don't know what the acronym, the V, the I, and the P stand for, or what they mean, but many people know what the word means. Okay. And of course, the last one, lounge. It doesn't look like a lounge. It looks like a lounge, I think, of a very comfortable furniture. But this looks like it's the video conference without the video. Okay. Let's see how I did. Okay, good. 6 out of 6. Okay. And so again, if you want to use the word cards, you can practice with that. You still don't understand the words. Looks like you'll have to look for them yourself. I'm going to provide them. Okay. Good. We're going to be listening to these words in the listening activity that's coming up next. There we go. So many of these words look like the same. Anedesica, business lounge. Okay, very similar words to the English words. Okay, but I think we can figure out what these words are, what these words mean, when we have them matched up with the pictures. Okay. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to listen to the dialogue. Okay. And as per usual, we're just going to listen to the dialogue and we're going to try and figure out what is going on. As usual, I will give you 3 listenings and we'll do some comprehension activities in a moment. Okay, but first, let's listen and see how much information we can hear. You're going to hear 2 people, a man and a woman. Here is your first listening.
Dialogue Module 10. You won't tell anyone, will you? Listen to the conversation, then read it with a partner.
The conference was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes. What was your favorite part?
I liked the keynote speech best.
Who was the speaker? He doesn't work for our company, does he?
No, he runs a graphic design business in New York.
He had some good ideas about online marketing.
I thought so too. We should propose some of them at our next meeting, shouldn't we?
I agree.
What did you like about the conference?
I liked the catering best. You won't tell anyone, will you?
No, I'll keep it a secret.
Okay, good. All right, so did you figure out what they were talking about? It sounds like they had gone somewhere. There was some kind of event. Did you hear what the event was about? Okay. We're going to take a closer listen to the dialogue. We're going to do some comprehension. As usual, I got some questions ready for you. We're going to listen to find out what the answers are. Number 1, what did Alex like best about the conference? Now, Alex is the man in the conversation. Lucy was the woman. So what did the man like best about the conference? Okay. Number 2, where does the speaker work? Okay, so there was some kind of speaker at the conference. Okay, was a keynote speaker. Anyway, the speaker that they talk about. So where does the speaker work? This question is a bit nebulous, a bit general, because often people, even native speakers, won't exactly understand. Where does the speaker work? You mean what company does he work for? Okay, in this case, I want to find out what city does the speaker work in? Okay, not very good grammar, but that's how we talk. What city does the speaker work in? So he gives the name of a city. Maybe you remember the answer from your first listening. Number 3, what did the speaker talk about? So I'm not talking about Alex or Lucy. We hear them in the dialogue, but they're talking about the speaker at the conference. So the speaker at the conference, what did he talk about? What was the subject of his talk, of his lecture? Okay. And number 4, what did Lucy like about the conference? Okay. All right, so she maybe liked many things, maybe she disliked some things. What did she like the most about the conference? Okay, we're going to play the track twice. Try and answer the questions the first time. And here is your second listening.
Dialogue Module 10. You won't tell anyone, will you? Listen to the conversation, then read it with a partner.
The conference was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes. What was your favorite part?
I liked the keynote speech best.
Who was the speaker? He doesn't work for our company, does he?
No, he runs a graphic design business in New York.
He had some good ideas about online marketing.
I thought so too. We should propose some of them at our next meeting, shouldn't we?
I agree.
What did you like about the conference?
I liked the catering best. You won't tell anyone, will you?
No, I'll keep it a secret.
Okay. So did you get all the answers? We're going to listen for a third time. Check your answers. Make sure your answers are correct. If any of them were difficult, you can get them on your third listening. Here's your third and final listening.
Dialogue Module 10. You won't tell anyone, will you? Listen to the conversation, then read it with a partner.
The conference was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes. What was your favorite part?
I liked the keynote speech best.
Who was the speaker? He doesn't work for our company, does he?
No, he runs a graphic design business in New York.
He had some good ideas about online marketing.
I thought so too. We should propose some of them at our next meeting, shouldn't we?
I agree.
What did you like about the conference?
I liked the catering best. You won't tell anyone, will you?
No, I'll keep it a secret.
No, I'll keep it a secret. All right, let's check this out. All right, let's check the answers. What did Alex like best about the conference? Okay. Lucy asks him in the second sentence, what was your favorite part? So that's what he liked best. Okay. So I like the keynote speech. So the answer for number 1, the keynote speech. Okay, that's what he liked best. Number 2, what city does the speaker work in? Okay, so Lucy begins to ask questions about the speaker. Who was the speaker? So what was his name? He doesn't work for our company, does he? So he doesn't work for our company, does he? And Alex says, no, he runs a graphic design business in New York. Okay, so that's the city that he works in. So the answer for number 2, the speaker works in New York City. Number 3, what did the speaker talk about? Okay. And Alex doesn't reveal that, but Lucy says he had some good ideas about online marketing. Okay. So the answer for number 3, online marketing. The speaker talked about online marketing. Number 4, what did Lucy like about the conference? Okay. Lucy says, I liked the catering best. Okay. And apparently it's a big secret. Yeah, well, although she liked the speaker's ideas about online marketing, okay, her favorite thing, the thing she liked best, was the catering. Okay, so the food that was provided at the conference. Okay, that's what Lucy liked the most. Okay, good. Okay, so we're able to listen for those answers, and that'll help you on the CBT if we ever do that this semester. Okay. So in this dialogue, you can see some of the language that we're going to be looking at today. It stands out a bit. We may have seen something like this in previous dialogues. In conversation and in movies, you may have experienced this kind of English language. You may have seen it in your own language as well. Look at the first statement here. The conference was interesting. Okay, that's a very standard sentence. So a subject, the be verb, and an adjective. Okay, very standard structure. The conference was interesting. And there's a comma, and then he says, wasn't it? Okay. So what is happening here? And you can see that here as well. He doesn't work for our company, does he? We should propose some of them at our next meeting, shouldn't we? You won't tell anyone, will you? Okay. So basically what's happening in these sentences is somebody's using a tag. That's what we see here, comma, and then we see a verb and then a subject. Using the pronoun. And that's a pattern that develops all in here. Notice here it says was, here it's wasn't. This says doesn't, this says does. This says should, this one says shouldn't. Okay, this one says won't, this one says will. Okay, so there's this opposite sort of bande written form of the verb or the auxiliary verb, or the modal. Okay. So what's really happening here, you see with Alex, he says, the conference was interesting, wasn't it? Okay. So this is a statement, conference was interesting, and that is Alex's opinion. He's conveying his opinion. Okay. Same thing here, when Lucy says, he doesn't work for our company. Okay, that's a statement, and that is her opinion. She's saying, I don't think he works for our company. It is my opinion that he does not work for our company. So this is what Lucy thinks. Okay, Alex says we should propose some of them at our next meeting. It's his suggestion. It's his opinion. And down here at the bottom, you won't tell anyone. So in this case, this is Lucy's, more than her opinion, this is what she hopes. Okay, I hope you will not tell anyone. Okay, and the tags what they do is they change these opinions into questions. Okay, more importantly, they're checking. They want to make sure. They're double checking. They are asking their friend, or in this case, Alex is asking Lucy if he is right. Okay? So he's basically saying, I think the conference was interesting. Do you agree? Okay? So that's basically what he's saying. We don't normally phrase it like that. I guess you could, but it sounds kind of strange. Okay? The conference was interesting, wasn't it? So I think it was interesting. Do you think it was not interesting? Okay, so again, he's conveying his opinion. He's saying his opinion, and then he's asking if he is wrong. The conference was interesting. Am I wrong? Okay. He doesn't work for our company. Am I wrong? We should propose some of them at our meeting. Am I wrong? Okay, that's and the last one. You won't tell anyone, please. Okay, so that's what's happening here. You see these examples of people taking their opinion and changing it into a question. They want the other person to want to verify their opinion, to see if they agree with their opinion. Okay. Let's take it to page 77, and we will look at the grammar a bit more closely. Okay, so you can see a lot of the same structure in these examples of tags. You have a statement and then a tag in all of these. Okay. Sometimes the statement is positive, so the tag is negative. I am next, aren't I? Notice the difference in verbs. Maybe I'll start somewhere else. You are tired, aren't you? Okay. So again, you have a positive statement, it becomes negative here. We're all looking at be verbs in these examples. He is from Canada, isn't he? Okay. So in this one, I think he's from Canada. Again, am I wrong? Okay. So tell me otherwise. Okay. Sometimes our opinion is of something negative. Okay. So maybe you think he is from Canada, but maybe we think he's not. Okay, so for whatever reason we think he is not from Canada. Am I right? So again, if the be verb has a negative here, it's only positive right here. The subject pronouns stay the same. You stays as you, he stays as he. Okay, so they all stay. And that's with the be verb. So again, you take the verb, you make it negative, or if it's negative, you make it positive. So just the opposite. Okay, what about, so I think it's probably pretty easy. If you're looking at something like auxiliary verbs, okay, we're going to look at the sentences that have the auxiliary verb, okay, auxiliary verb do. So if it's a positive statement, we don't use any auxiliary verb in the positive statement. So it suddenly appears in a negative tag. So a negative statement or a question uses the auxiliary verb. But in a positive statement, it doesn't. So you like Thai food, don't you? She plays the piano, doesn't she? They watched the show, didn't they? Notice the past tense here. Okay. But these are not modals of any kind, and they don't have an auxiliary verb. Okay, so if they don't have that, then you'll use the negative auxiliary in the negative tag. Likewise, if you have a negative statement, you don't like Thai food, do you? Okay. So in this case, you wouldn't use the verb like, or you wouldn't use the verb play in the tag. So the tag always has this auxiliary. Okay. So again, we're not changing the actual verb as we did with the be verb. We're just going to use if it's an action verb, you're just going to use the auxiliary verb do. Okay. Now, if you're using the verb have, okay, so if you're using so if you're using the present perfect or any other modal, you can just change that auxiliary verb. So I should go home. So again, here the verb is go, swim, and see. Okay, but we have all these modals that are added on here, these auxiliary verbs. I should go home, shouldn't I? She can swim, can't she? We will see Dave, won't we? Okay, so again, these are the auxiliary verbs here. You can just make them negative if they're positive in the statement. And again, the subjects stay the same. If your statement is negative, I shouldn't go home. She can't swim. We won't see Dave. Okay, these are my opinions. They're all negative. But the tag, okay, just takes the same modal and makes them positive or affirmative. Okay. Again, the subject pronoun stays the same. Okay. This may take a bit of practice, so please come back to page 77 and look at the examples that we have here. Again, there's 3 types of auxiliary verbs. Okay, good. Okay. Now for answering them, maybe we'll just go through speaking task 1 to look at how you would answer these. Okay, so in this one, this example we have here at the top, you aren't hungry, are you? You aren't hungry, are you? Okay, so this is my opinion of you, that you aren't hungry. Okay, you just ate. I think you are not hungry. Am I wrong? You aren't hungry, are you? The person says, no, I'm not. Okay, so no, I am not hungry. Okay, so in fact, B agrees or confirms A's opinion. A thinks that B is not hungry. He checks to make sure, and B confirmed. B says, yes, you are right. I am not hungry. But notice he doesn't use the word yes, he uses the word no. So that these are all yes and no questions, so they have to conform to the positive or negative. So he says, I am not hungry. So both of these have to be positive. If it was, you are hungry, aren't you? You'd have to say, yes, it's a positive sign. I am. So we have 2 positive signs. So no, yes, I am not, or no, I am. Those don't make any sense in English. It might not make any sense to non-English speakers, but it makes sense to us. So, number 1, you're not hungry, are you? No, I'm not. Next one. It's a nice day, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, so yes, it is. Because yes, we don't need a negative on it. Okay. Now my opinion of her, she is not a good driver. So I say, she is not a good driver. Is she? The answer? No, she is not. No, she isn't. No, she's not. Next one. They are happy, aren't they? Yes, they are. Next one. We are almost there, aren't we? No, we're not. And the last one. I'm in the right place, aren't I? Yes, you are. So all of these examples have the be verb. You can find this at the top. So you can refer to this. So come back and practice this when you can. I didn't go into too much detail, but I am next. Amt I? Okay, so this would be the exception to the rule. So you are tired, aren't you? I am tired, aren't I? So this be verb does not match this be verb. So be careful with that. That's an exception to the rule. So I am next, aren't I? So the negative tag for I am is aren't I. Why? I don't know. Okay, but that's how it is. Otherwise, it will sound strange. Okay, let's leave it at that. If you want to come back and look at these answers, you can come back and practice these on your own. That it might be a good idea. This concludes the first lecture. All right. The next lecture will be coming up next, and we will be doing some speaking activities as we usually do. Okay. I'll see you in lecture number 2.